Lions Plan says, hashtag Lions,
Yeah.
do you think we will make a splash signing? I would like it if we sign James Bradberry instead of trading for Jalen Ramsey. I think we could make one like a Jamel Dean. I think that's a possibility, one splash signing. The rest would be players that are depth players or re-signing like our own guys of Isaiah Buggs, John Kaminsky, something of that nature. Do you think we make a splash signing? Who would you think the Lions would go after?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Say no to this because we do have some cap space. But then the flip side is I'm with you. I think we're going to do a lot of what we've done. Resign and then 1-year proven deals. I could see us making one. Maybe it's not like the splash like the Trey Flowers deal. I don't think we'll do that. Unless it's a trade, I don't think we'll make that kind of. I could see like a 2-3 year deal.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're pushing 8-9 a year to maybe a DT, maybe a guard, maybe something like that.
Can't get paid anymore, Python. He is franchise tagged. He got franchise tagged, I think it was today or last night. Bobo Lane says, hashtag FGB, any chance of one of the offensive linemen in the draft goes top 5? I don't believe so. I don't. Peter Skoronski is more of a 10 around that area, 10, 11, around that area. I think it's a weak offensive tackle draft. Thankfully, we don't need one, but it is a weaker one. You'd think Chicago would have to get an offensive tackle, and they don't. Good God,
Yeah,
Jared Goff, but their quarterback, Justin Fields, is going to be running for his freaking life again. But no, I don't believe so. I know this would be so much easier if Brad just tells us who he wants to draft. That would definitely be awesome, but at the same time, it would kill us.
That
would be a terrible
decision
decision strategically.
Yeah.
Whoever you want, you didn't get.
Man. Look, I want to talk tight ends, so let's not let that happen. Let's continue the tight end talk. I know Mike loves it, so that's what we're here for. Weekly shows, tight ends. That's how we open it up every.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Between Jalen Ramsey and the tight ends, it's starting to get a little bit old. Like it's every day. So whether if he gets traded to the Lions or not, I hope it happens soon because I'm honestly tired of hearing about it. And the tight ends, good God, get over the tight end talk. We're not taking one early, and if we do, I will shoot myself in the head.
What if we just trade for a tight end?
What's
make
that?
It easy, Let's just go trade for a tight end. We're talking about, take 18, give me a tight end.
Will we start signing our own free agents after this week? We should. I mean, they should start signing their own free agents soon. You don't want them. You got, 3 days before the official signing day? It's like where the agents can talk to players from either team. But, Jamaal Williams, you want to see him get signed at some point. Why isn't he signed yet? You're talking about Mike Hughes, lower value guys, Isaiah Buggs, Kaminsky, all these players. Yeah, you want them to get signed soon, damn it. How do you feel about Bobby Wagner? Oh, man, Bobby Wagner, he's a top 10 linebacker. Still, even at the age of 33, he definitely is a veteran that would square away these young players. Probably looking to a team that go in the playoffs. But the last rumor I heard is he wants to stay on the West Coast because I think that's where his family's at. I'd bring him in here. I'd do it. What do you think about Bobby Wagner?
Bobby's a dog. Bobby's a dog, man. He was last. He still was. I mean, he's been like But I think Alexander Zaloni will be brought back. But I wouldn't hate it if we didn't and we did that kind of move. The only thing is though, he'd be one of the more expensive linebackers to go get.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think we'll do it. But I'm not mad at him. I mean, he's an animal.
Hashtag Lines, I think we should draft Christian Gonzalez at 6 overall and Trenton Simpson at 18. Would you do this route? Would you go Gonzalez Simpson?
No. I would not take Simpson at 18. I would take Gonzalez. I wouldn't take Simpson at 18 personally. I know you're the linebacker guy, Mike. So look, I'm pulling some strings, man. I'd rather go tight end here. No,
oh my God,
I wouldn't. I would. I would
Please
not go.
God, no.
Here. Here's my issue because I think when it comes back, if that happens, I don't know what the role would be for a guy that high at that point. Because to me, I'm not drafting someone to replace Malcolm. I think he's going to be a long-term starter, and I think Alex will start again this year. And for him personally, I think he'd be more of a will. So I'm not really sure why I would draft it that high. I like Trenton Simpson. super athletic, but at the same time, I wouldn't take it at 18.
So, you
He
know, we
doesn't
only
have a
got 2
trait that stands out.
linebackers currently signed, Derek Barnes and Malcolm
Yes.
Rodriguez. So
Right.
I heard it's not like guaranteed that Alex Anzalone actually comes back. So
Ooh, he
it
better come
depends
back,
who we
man.
get if we get a guy in free agency. It depends. We need linebacker help in a big way. I think that's a big hole. I love Trenton Simpson. I don't think they're going to go that route because Brad Holmes doesn't value the linebacker position that early. Probably round 2. I like Jack Campbell. I think he would be a absolute perfect fit in Detroit. There's other linebackers you can look at. Drew Sanders, will he be available there in the second round? Possibility. But we need linebacker
So
in a big way.
my personal take on Jack Campbell would be he would plug in immediately and play Mike. So would you be drafting him to come in and start and basically just play that position? If you saying we're not bringing back Alex Anzalone?
We need help so bad at that because I'm tired of seeing that position just constantly fail and suck. It has been bugging me for years now. I'm ready to get a guy.
Hey, Brad called it a strength after the year, man.
Yeah, man, it's just like year after year after year after year. It's like, oh my
Oh,
God, at some
man.
point, man, fix this thing. I want an enforcer back there. I just get a guy. I don't really care, what round specifically, but get us a guy. I mean, I prefer like the second round, but man, we just need an enforcer back there. Darius Ralston, #Lions. Could we trade up to 20 and have 6, 18, and 20 and get 3 studs? Late round linebacker be done. I think it's possible they can trade up into the first round because you got 2 second-round picks. The value is there for the trade, the trade map that they have. I think they very well could. We've seen last year they'll trade up. I think they could. Will they? I don't know. But they for sure could trade up into the first round. Brad Holmes is not worried about that at all. Do you think they could trade up, end up having 3 first-round picks?
That's interesting, man. As a fifth year, I mean, the pricing goes up a little bit. I don't know what you'd be. I mean, I guess in this scenario, you're saying maybe do it for a guard. I would think it might be more likely that you kind of go the route last year, but I don't know who that would be for. Moving up from 18 and then getting another guy in top 15, whoever that may be. But I don't know who that would be for. I think last year kind of made more sense. I'm not sure who that would be for. So your
Raw
point actually makes
Podcast
more sense of what he just said.
Says,
Yeah.
my question, make sure you subscribe to Raw Podcast, is if we bringing back everyone, how do we get better defensively? If we bring back everyone that we had, how do we get better?
Let's dive into this, man. First off, we are not everybody we just had. But I also think it's important, Mike. I think it's important to understand that the Lions defense, I understand where they ranked all as a season, right? But we also the Lions pass defense took massive strides towards in the second half of the season when they had the Kaminsky's and the Jacobs, because remember Jacobs didn't start the season and Amani it wasn't it. So it was like we really never had a number 2, right? And then Jacobs came in and he was able to kind of play that role. And we still are rotating Jeff for Jacobs. And then Mike Hughes played on the. So I think there's that. We took big strides. And then on top of it, there's still guys I'd want to re-sign because there's certain guys that have proven as depth, like certain guys that you want to go to battle with because either they're going to play their games, they can play different spots, or you just trust them in big moments.
I don't mind any depth players. That's not going to be a big deal to me if you bring back an Isaiah Buggs or a Kaminsky or a Mike Hughes. They're depth players. But for starters, I think for the Lions, they really need to address that in the draft. For your difference makers and your big players to have names, you got to draft these guys. You got to be able to nail the draft. We're talking about defensive tackle, linebacker, and cornerback. That's what I want to see. And maybe get a cornerback in free agency that is a starter for sure. I think that is the route that you have to go. So if you're looking to really elevate the roster, it's going to be through the draft. Selected free agents, but through the draft. So, I don't want to bring everybody back. It's like the same old team every year. I mean, you can't bring back the 32nd ranked defense and give Aaron Glenn the same players year in and year out and expect him to succeed, because that's actually booty cheeks. Can't do it. How about this trade? Number 6 to Pittsburgh for 17, 32, and 2024 first-round pick. That's an interesting one. So you're getting a first, a second, and a first. Moving back from 6 to 17, 11 spots. Damn, that's a fallback, but that is a good to bring back. But you'd expect the Pittsburgh Steelers to have potentially a playoff berth this year, be up there close. So if you were to get a first-round pick next year, it's probably going to be in the 20s. That's difficult.
I mean, hey, I don't know
what do you think of this trade?
I mean, from the way I see it right now with it, I'd be willing to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if the Lions will, because from their perspective, that's a massive drop, and they could have guys that are just completely different atmospheres. But the way I look at it and what I think our needs are, I'm with you on cornerback, DT, a little bit less on linebacker. I'm with her. Like, yeah, I would do that, because I got 3 first-round picks, guard, DT, linebacker, cornerback. I could still hit all. The biggest question for me then would be, I'm still sticking with, I think we need a starting outside cornerback. So I got to then find that free, see that later, maybe the 3rd, 4th cornerback off the board becomes that.
Trevor says this Forbes guy looks like a stud, man. I really wouldn't mind trading back and grabbing him. He's talking about Emmanuel Forbes. I like him. Look, man, this cornerback draft is so great at depth that a player like him will be available in round 2, who, if you're wanting to get a nickel, would instantly be a starter for you. So I like him too. It'll be interesting to see where he falls. But that's how this cornerbacks are this year. It's just absolutely awesome. It is. Lions are DJ Chark and Jamaal Williams returning to the team. DJ Chark, I feel like, is less than 50%. Probably go like 35%. Jamaal Williams, 75%. That's what I'm seeing right now. What do you give the odds of those two coming back to the Lions?
This year, I don't think Chark. I would struggle to see Chark coming back. If he's not, I think they both come back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know when, it just depends on what Chark wants. I think it's more financial than anything else, and it is a weak wide receiver market for free agency, and maybe he's thinking I cash in on a place like Chicago and make buku.
Kenny G just got cut.
Who?
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Kenny G.
Oh, yeah, you didn't know? Yeah, Kenny G got cut. Probably see him in Chicago. All these you see wide receivers are going on in Chicago right there. Yeah, Kenny G was cut, and guess what? We got Kirby Joseph from Kenny G. So talk about a great cut by or not a re-sign. We got a Kirby Joseph out of Kenny G. So he did absolutely nothing over there for the Giants, and we got a good safety out of it.
Perfect.